Good day to you, my fellow endoskeletons. I'm Kenetor and welcome back for another Starbase progress report. We're on week 13 of 2021, and if you're new here, I bring you the latest news and updates of everything Starbase every Monday. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out. Now let's get to it. A quick channel update first this week, as I'd like to thank everyone that watches, likes, comments and subs for all my content. You guys are the reason I do this, and it's great to spark up a conversation about Starbase in the comments as well as continue over on my Discord. But this week is special because I have hit 5,000 subscribers, which is a great milestone for any small creator. I never even thought I'd make it past the first 1,000, so thank you ever so much for coming back each week to check out my content. I really appreciate it. Jumping back into Starbase itself, these notes were delayed this week due to the devs enjoying their Easter break, and as such not too much happened, and you will see that the notes are a bit shorter this week. But the awesome Kai from Frozen Byte did still run 3 events this week, so big kudos to him for that. Sadly, I missed all 3 events as I was busy on a 105-hour-ish flight to the nearest red moon. Since the devs added new moon textures and the atmospheres, it really sparked a reason to go out for one for me, and I didn't just want to go to the next nearest moon either. I wanted to head out and see something brand new that hadn't been set foot on by any other endo before. Some of you may have caught the live stream I did for the landing, and after a tricky bit of manual flying, land I did, using the new landing mode that engages about 20 to 25 meters off the ground. If you can get your speed to near zero at that point, then you don't crash and destroy your ship. I named the planet Sakara, which comes from my love of June, and it is Arrakis spelled backwards. Thankfully no sandworms were sighted on this moon to stop me from claiming its spice. I absolutely loved the look of this moon, and it gave us all a great sight to see. Another reason I wanted to go was to try and see all the moons on the way, and I did see all 10 moons, and I will hopefully be putting together a map for us to label with player names for all the moons to help people head out and visit some uncharted places of their own. If you wanted to check out the stream replay, I'll put the link in the description. Now onto the Lowry Quotes of the week. Lowry has shared some info on the extensive tediousness of certain gameplay elements. He agrees it's there, but it's definitely not intended or planned to stay this way, but they won't balance it with minor tweaks either, as major key pieces are missing. And as for said key pieces, Lowry said the needed list has stabilised over the months. Thus what they are working towards is pretty close to the top 15 things the community wants, plus a few extras. This alone shows what an active and in-touch dev team can do. Listening to the community on key aspects is key to not wasting time and getting us where we need to be the quickest they can. And those thinking, well, we don't need atmosphere refining right now, don't worry, I agree too. But this is just one part of the dev team, and more people doesn't always make the job go faster, so why not create extra things to surprise and please us with? With Lowry's tease of a huge and unexpected update coming towards the end of April, Lowry gives us a little info on the small updates that will be coming before then. And when I say small, I mean huge. Let me show you. The major update is yet to come, but they will do an intermediate limit update first. This update will increase the voxel limit by roughly 50 to 100%. Yup, my jaw had to be picked off the floor too. A 50 to 100% voxel limit increase is colossal. The size limit in the SSC is decent, with the longest side being 75 meters long, but you can barely build a ship and fully plate it at this size. Shout out to community member Mr. Fonts for paving the way in huge ship designs. Many of his ships are pushing the limits before he even puts armor on them, so he will definitely be pleased. But there will be some caveats. This new limit will now include anything you are transporting via cargo lock beams or frames, and I think this is a great way to balance the extra mass you can carry, and helps give designers who can provide an edge on ship design with reduced mass to carry more, which is something that will help give competitive edge in the market for ships. However, there is no info yet on if crate storage is included in this limitation, and they would avoid creating OP methods of storage if possible. He finishes this quote with reminding us that for the first alpha release with this, he imagines everything will be broken. Our next quote brings us a little info on the new tripod turrets. Lowry tells us they are now in partial testing, and in his opinion they will form a core viable gunships which is more valuable than the same crew in single person fighters. Especially combined, they will form a mighty combination with one tripod per person, but fast switching, perfect aiming, and great firepower, since tripods have direct mouse control, which is their main purpose of their existence. Here we will see a great new defining of the combat meta in Starbase. Tripods will change everything with their mouse control, and I expect to see many balance tweaks to them before early access, as we create better and better gunships. Lowry continues, they classify all ships as either fighters or gunships at this moment, which are the smallest classifications. Let that sink in for a second to give you just a hint of what is to come in the future. While mouse controls are being worked on, in their terms current shipbuilding limits only allow for small gunships, and Lowry would class Mr. Fonz's Humphrey as a frigate. This is bonkers for a few reasons. Firstly, the Humphrey is massive and unfinished, and a frigate is nowhere near a cruiser or a battleship, which makes you think, what do they have planned to bring us for these classes? Lowry finishes this one by saying the next limit will be medium gunship. For those wondering if the devs hold anything back, this next quote is for you. Lowry says they don't hold back stuff just for fun, but since they need to make good presentations of the pretty large stuff they are going to show with the roadmap, they need to make sure they can actually deliver. This is great to hear as they have shown many different gameplay features in just the two main trailers for Starbase. People will be expecting this as a minimum. When asked if they could just patch in some quick fixes for some big issues, Lowry rightly responds they have no time for temp hacks. Luckily, proper solutions are closing in. This reality kicks home what closed alpha testing is all about. We are not here to play, we're testing through and through. And I know a lot of you want to play the game, but what we are playing right now is not the game. It's testing the system's work, finding loopholes and bugs, so the game can launch as trouble-free as it can. And I think this is why the closed alpha has such a huge drop-off rate. If I log on at any time of the day, even peak EU or US time, there is nearly no one online compared to the player count. And I know part of this is not seeing people in the SSC or away from Origin, but this number is really not increasing that much. New waves come in, it goes up, but it always comes back down to the same old number with the same old people sticking around. So don't kid yourself if you're thinking getting in means you get a free game or that you really want to help test, because the numbers say otherwise. You have to accept the game is unfinished and lots can and will go wrong. Anyway, Lowry continues with this one about the SSC. Its process is something we needed for the past year or so, but currently they are looking only a few months time frame for proper solutions. So EA or just after EA launch will be this time frame. He continues that it's complicated from a dev perspective. Any too easy method which is removed will create massive outcry, even if the new edition adds gameplay and not just some obstacles, like the SSC first requiring only credits, then also ores, and in future parts and factories. Their second best option is to introduce a bit too complicated a version first and then iron out the experience. For example, all lot and station building first versions were unusable in terms of experience, and both myself and community member Solon can attest to this in the sheer number of hours we have dedicated to testing this. He continues, so not even too complicated but completely unusable. Why they pushed these out? Well, it helped them to see what is needed most, and the bug discovery began from there. It's the meaning of alpha. Some of you guys actually can take the hit for the greater good. Again, this hammers home my statement about alpha. It's a place for testing and developing ideas without hurting paying customers. That is all of us that will buy the game in the future. This is so important to do now when they can, so we can all get a better experience at launch. And I know maybe a handful of people that have put the time and dedication into testing various aspects of closed alpha to their limits so far. So don't feel bad because you're not in closed alpha yet, because a lot of people just straight quit. Some great insights there with this week's Lowry Quotes, which I'm hoping all of you appreciate. That being said, it's getting rapidly time to increase player numbers in closed alpha. Many more things need testing, and even more so the servers that support the game. So strap in, we're in the alpha endgame now. Now on to the progress report. The main design features worked on last week were triangle and box thruster nozzles now affect thruster's total thrust. Buying blueprint chips with custom blueprints has been tested and improvements designed. Design for registering spaceships as owned if they were built outside of the spaceship designer has been started. Freeform building on the moons has been tested and improvements have been designed. And design for solid version of pipes and cables that can transfer resources and data continues. Now onto the gameplay updates. Universal tool optimizations have been made. Asteroid material queries should not cause FPS deflation. Ship transponder's color code has been expanded to stations and lots. 2 new ore slots have been added to the mining backpack. Tripod functionality has been worked on. The objectives of the demolition job tutorial have been revamped. All tools spawn right at the beginning and all 4 ships have separate objectives. Being able to restart the tutorial after completing it without first resetting the progress in the settings has been fixed. Jobs not being in tutorial mode after relogging with the tutorial active have been fixed as well. And the demolition job tutorial now shows usage hint for currently active tool. UI updates this week are company medal awards and medal creator have been designed. Company ship access controls have been designed. Using pre-made parts for ship designer purchases has been implemented. Page for editing mission settings has been worked on, and ship manager's access page has also been worked on. Just one animation update again this week with work on new prone transition animation continues. And this week's station R updates are Windows submodules have been updated in grid slots. Skyscraper roof module 04 has been finished, and old window assets have been replaced in skyscraper roof modules. And lastly, other updates this week are more rocks have been added for Moon Type 4, rock spawn logic adjustments have been made for Elysium, Salvage collector asset has been created, inventory icons for station and ship blueprint chips have been created, auto snap icon for the ship designer has been created as well, relative sizing for explosive propellant VFX has been updated, visual and optimization updates have also been made, and significant optimization and rework of remote explosive VFX when multiple detonations are combined up close. While there's no feature video this week, do please check out the stream replay of my moon landing, but if you do get into closed alpha, already are, be sure to send any funny or awesome clips and recordings my way for a chance to be featured on the channel. Feel free to contact me via Discord or come jump on my Discord server, which is also home to my faction, the Keybots, should you be looking for one to join. As always, please smash that like button, share this video with your friends and faction, leave a comment with any questions you want answers to, and I'll see you in the next one. Kenetor, out.